What is up guys, Novum here, and today I'm going to be taking a look back into the Final Fantasy 15 episode Duscae demo released back in March of 2015. Episode Duscae was a good open world slash that Square provided to give us an idea of what Final Fantasy 15 was going for, and for the most part, I'd say it succeeded. Even with being a bit rough around the edges. This video was requested ever since I did the time-lapse video because people were curious on how to break out and get to LESTALLUM, so I'm going to show you how to do that, but also other things like the location of the Adamantoise and more. Now trust me, if you haven't played episode Duscae too much, you're going to be surprised at the amount of stuff this demo has hidden. I found out some new things recently, and I'm going to be doing quite a bit of outlandish things that I'm sure not many have done quite yet, and I'm hoping that even if you don't have the Duscae demo, you will at least be intrigued with some of my findings. Note, this is the 2.0 version, and to my knowledge, I can't really revert back to the 1.0 version. I'm gonna get into detail like I did with the Platinum demo by showing off glitches, tricks, and mysteries. Starting off with the glitches. I'm gonna show you how to break out of the map, and this is also easier than the car method. First off, you're gonna want to be at this caravan point and walk at the end of the map where the blue barrier is. All you have to do is angle your camera away from the outside, and you have to have Noctis parkour over the fence and the blue barrier at the same time. It's pretty simple, but after a bit of practice, I can do it within my first to fourth try. After that, you have a lot more things you can explore outside of the demo space, but you aren't totally free because if you go too far out, you'll receive a message that tells you you're out of bounds and it'll give you a game over screen. However, I will tell you how to get past that. So basically, we will call this breakout glitch tier 1, meaning we got past the blue barrier. Now you can freely roam the perimeter around the entire demo area. Note, your allies cannot follow you over, they can only be inside of the demo space. I will now show you some things that you can do. First up, Duscae arches. You will notice that there are a bunch of arches around the Duscae area when you first break out of the map, and to your right there is an arch you can climb like this. Now, when you reach the top, prepare to be disappointed. The actual arc of the arch doesn't have a collision, so you will fall right through every single time. It gives you a nice view though. There are quite a few more of these arches that you could climb, but I'll explain those later. Up next is the sync glitch. What you have to do is get close to the enemies in the map, and this may rarely trigger, but it can activate the animation where an ally sets up a sync with you, but they won't actually be on you.
Let ourselves be outflanked.
Or killed. That would be bad.
Up next we have Pride Rock. So this is the infamous Pride Rock where the Armor Go weapon lied under. Unfortunately, Pride Rock doesn't have any collision either for some odd reason, and you will also fall right through. Up next is the dungeon lighting. So basically, this is a higher view of the dungeon in Duscae. You can see the square-shaped rocks. When you go behind them, however, there will occur an odd lighting glitch. The reason for this is because when you enter in the dungeon, the devs put in an effect where your eyes get used to the darkness, or when you exit, your eyes get used to the blinding sunlight. However, where I'm standing, the lighting kind of bugs out and it makes Noctis glow. And finally, the Titan glitch. Now this one is, as everyone knows, you can glitch out and get to the Titan's location and he will be an extremely low poly model. It's pretty self-explanatory. Alright, now for Breakout Glitch Tier 2. Basically, the point of this glitch is to get past the error message that gives you the game over screen. In order to get past this, you have to break out of the map the first time and activate the error message. After accepting the error message, quickly pause the game and go into the items menu, and then the game over screen should pop up, and you click on continue. Now at this point, the items menu should be stuck on the screen and you shouldn't be hearing the characters' voices or their footsteps. Whatever you do not try to remove the items menu by pressing pause. This will ruin the glitch from working. So anyways, once you have this item menu glitch up and working, break out of the map once again and now freely roam as far as you want in any direction. I found myself a bunch of extra arches you could climb, and I also found a windmill.
Thank you, Senpai.
Most people may wonder how to get to LESTALLUM. I'll explain. If you want to get to LESTALLUM, you have to run along the road to LESTALLUM. You just can't run to it in any direction because the floors have to load up and have no collision, and you may fall through. Running on the roads actually loads up the floor to LESTALLUM so you can make it there safely. When in LESTALLUM, you can't really do much but see the town from underneath, and you could also go under the giant crystal laboratory thing, and that's about it there. That was it for the glitches. Now onto the tricks, though I wouldn't really say they are tricks, rather they're fine details you wouldn't normally notice or try. First off, if you go to sleep at the gas station, for example, and wake up, you can actually walk up to your allies like Prompto and Ignis, who are probably in the store, and they will both greet you with a good morning dialogue.
Good morning. Morning.
Fine morning.
Another thing you can mess around with is the automatic parkour in Final Fantasy 15. You can run along these long cylinders and Noctis will slide across them unnaturally so, but it is fun to mess around with the parkour in general. While playing Duscae at nighttime, I found out that many enemies can appear between goblins and Niflheim soldiers. I actually counted up to 35 enemies, I believe, on screen at the same time, and I just thought it was kind of an insane amount of enemies, almost like a Musou type of game. While fighting the behemoth, he actually has a prompt where you can parry him and you can do an awesome counter animation. But also, another thing is, if you warp strike into the behemoth's face, he will automatically knock you back and put you in a down state. And now for some of the mysteries. First off, I have to talk about the Armor Girl weapons. I believe the names you see here are the actual names of the weapons from the Knights of the Round and their stories. However, I believe these names have since been changed in the final game. In the Duscae demo, we have Armor Girl weapons like Aquacero, Cesses Galatine, and Ron-Gamignad. I think that's how you say that. However, now the names of the Armor Girl weapons have been changed to things like Sword of the Wise, Sword of the Wanderer. Something like this just makes me think that around 2015 they were still working on getting the story around together, and finally they've come to a point where they could decide upon proper namings for the Armor Girl weapons. Finally, I'm going to talk about the location of that Adamantoise. Now, this was a personal discovery and I'm sure no one else knows about this other than an obsessive fan like myself, but here we go. So basically, in my personal experience, I had played Duscae for over 150 hours, and in that time, I spent a lot of it exploring the outside and memorizing the layout of the map, such as the roads and whatnot. Note, a lot of the areas outside of the playable demo space was completely underdeveloped at the time. By the time Gamescom came around and we got a look at the actual map of Lead in Duscae, I noticed the layout in Lead of some of the roads that look very similar to the ones I saw while breaking out of the Duscae demo. And I was right. The roads you see on this map of Lead leads to the Golden Quay area, and the ones you see me running along here are those same roads. Now, what does this have to do with the Adamantoise, you might ask? Well, here we go. So basically, if you look back at the TGS trailer, you will see that the crew is driving on a dirt road path and Adamantoise has a huge rock on his back. Now in the Gamescom footage, you can see a map right here, and just to clarify, the green path are roads and the yellow path are dirt road paths. So basically, there's a circular path around this area here, and I believe the crew were driving along this dirt road path in the TGS 2014 trailer. But in this area on the map, you will see a huge rock on the middle of it with an oddly shaped spike. If you look at the China Joy footage of Adamantoise, you'll also notice Noctis is running in a desert and Adamantoise is basically waking up. So dirt road path, desert area, a huge rock on his back, this area of the map. They don't make it blatantly obvious, but many times in the first hour of the game, they point your eyes towards this specific rock, and believe it or not, it's Adamantoise hidden under there in plain sight, literally in the first map of the game. I love how Square has been doing this whole danger hidden in plain sight type of thing. It's really awesome. Anyways, that was my episode Duscae Glitches, Tricks, and Mysteries 2016 edition. Thank you for watching.